I would say that the impact of various cultural groups entering into the Mennonite Church BC world has been quite significant in the last 20 years, especially with regard to the Vancouver area. When you have our pastors' gatherings, there's always more people of color or people of different ethnicities than there are Caucasian people in the Vancouver gathering, and it provides a really good relational connection that just adds to the understanding of what our city is like and what people are looking for. One of the realities I would say is that there's a debate between being multicultural and being intercultural. And the idea of being intercultural is to actually have the dominant language be the language that is predominantly used, but that there will be people of many different cultures who are worshiping together with English as being the predominant language, but with many expressions of the cultural groups and their language-specific realities coming up in the worship services. I know that the impulse is there for new immigrants to have their own language worship services, and we've often gone that way. We've tended to lean that way, and so we have these churches, especially in Vancouver. Every congregation has more than one language group in it, and so how do you shift then into a more of an intercultural reality because of all of the next generations being English-speaking people? And so that next generation is looking for an English-speaking worship service, and for our current English worship services who do come from a Germanic background for the most part, to be welcoming of this next generation. It's tough. It's not easy, and as I observe the congregations that we have, that's the temptation is for the cultural group that comes, let's say the Vietnamese congregation, to start an English service that kind of connects with their culture more so than this culture that's more Germanic that comes with the host congregation. It's a pretty tough shift, and I've learned over time that culture runs a lot deeper than the language, and so the English language. A lot of these young people speak English just like any other Canadian, but gravitate towards their cultural group as the place that kind of feels like home. And a congregation that has a different ethnic background from several generations back still reflects that in some ways, and so I think there's a real interest in becoming more intercultural, but it's not an easy direction to go, and it takes time. It takes a lot of effort and commitment from both a hosting congregation and a newer congregation that's coming from a different ethnic background.